That'll do. Just let it run for a bit so I'm actually activated. All right, greetings. So I got over 9:30, so I thought I'd, do the video. The time I was outside of a public park, I'd had to crap in the middle of the night. Pizza box, turd, garbage can. How did I come to this situation? Well, this is Freedom Phil. Like and subscribe. Let's get into it. And always turn up the video speed. Why do I say that? Because you watch videos faster. Why wouldn't you? Let's get into it. I was traveling, doing the van life thing, and no, I do not represent the majority of van life. I represent me. So I'm not a hero by any means, and I'm not your great villain either. I was bumming change as I was going along, and the last major area I went through, and the key thing for bumming change is you don't want a major metro. They're just too problematic, too many drug addicts, too many issues, too many uncouth homeless. And I had made pretty good, okay in that particular area. I can't remember how, $200-300 that I had made there. And so I started heading further north, cut back off on this highway and then basically led back to the freeway. And when I was leaving, I made sure to get a Costco pizza. Now, one might say, is there not a lot to spend? Well, it's $10, and effectively, it's either one day easily, let's be honest, 2 days worth of food. And by the end of the second day, the pizza's getting kind of crusty. So for $10, that's actually quite a bit of food. And so as I'm heading north, I did a little bumming along the way, made about $30 in one little middle of nowhere area. But I was aiming for this one particular town that I happened to like anyways, because there's a great thrift store there. I will not name the town, by the way. Great thrift store there, like discounts like you wouldn't believe, after date things and all sorts of that. And I was kind of scoping and scanning the situation of that particular area, learning where the food banks were, where the library was. I was in that area for about, I don't know, probably anywhere from, I'd say 5 days before I moved on. But I had been planning this area long before I went there. So I kind of strategically planned the bum. Like as you come into town, there's a gas station. I don't know if I did that one first or later. And I did okay at that particular gas station, shaking my ass and whatnot. I'm pretty good at it. And I'd be a huge ass, but it's a train wreck and everybody likes looking at a train wreck. So I did that. I did one area for a bit. There were some places I did that were just kind of dead. And one of the things I thought was funny is this one person gave me like a small bag of pennies and a Bible. And I remember thinking that's where I came up with the kind of outlook on life, it's proverb theory, I don't know, equation, I don't know how to put it. Would you give this to your pastor in the collection plate? If you're not going to give it to your collection plate, if you're a real person of God, then please stop giving it to the bums. Don't give people a bag full of fucking pennies. You're being a fucking cheeky asshole. But all the same, hey, it's money, whatever. It's like, I got to imagine, do those preachers, do they have one of those roller things that like takes the coins from the collection plate and just auto sorts them? Or do they use electric? But all the same, yeah, I still got that Bible out in the party van. Occasionally, I just randomly open it up and read it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's wacky. But I don't know, I'm going to save my soul there. But I saw a few bums when I was there that one old guy, he had a hustle for an area. And we were talking, he was an okay. I'm like, I'm just a mobile transient bum. And, I work an area, I shake it for a bit. Then I kind of slowly make my way to the next area, like a locust. But yeah, man, he was pretty cool. And there was this one kid I saw over right by the fucking Winco. And it was funny because he was clearly a drug addict, a little skinny kid. And he basically had to say, I need to get money for my friend's surgery. Blah. I'm like, fucking bullshit. All the same, to keep the change gods good, because I had done quite well that day. Wasn't quite as good as by that Walmart in Utah, where it was like, I made, God, what was it, $271. or some crazy amount in 4 hours. And so, and plus they're like going on the I-15 that time where I made 300 something dollars in a day, and that's not normal. I just want you to understand that it is not normal. You make $100 in a day and your cost of living is almost nothing, then you did fine. If your cost of living is only $200 a month, and like for people that are like, wait, you're for low taxes and kicking people off the system, you're damn right. I am for kicking people off the system because I believe that we have more than enough soup kitchens and food banks. There's no fucking reason that you should be forced to pay taxes. But when it comes to someone donating or giving someone money voluntarily, that's a voluntary action. I'm not voting your money out of your pocket. So when I was there's this particular rail yard, big long rail yard next to the Forgotten Industrial Zone. There's like actual three or four parts of this particular little mid-sized city. In fact, there's 2 cities connected at least. 3 actually, now that I think about it. There's the old town, there's the new town, and then there's the neighboring kind of town over there where it's like basically where all the shopping centers are. I worked that area, and then I'd get done at the end of the day, and generally I'd go right to Costco and buy a pizza. Walk in the wrong door, didn't even have a Costco card, and I would basically buy the pizza for $10. And then I'd proceed to get some Four Locos, which I have some fond memories of Four Loko. 2 Four Locos, man, good. And eat like probably a third, if not half the pizza or more. Sometimes I was just fucking, it actually had weed back then too. So yeah, I'd get baked, drink my Four Locos, and yeah, just kind of look at the stars, watch the trains go by. And in that particular place, they had not the greatest selection of TV channels, but way fucking better than I got here. Like they had some good channels like Buzzer and some other things, all the basics. So I was having a grand old time. And at some point, after multiple days of bumming, I pretty much bummed the whole area. Like kind of like fishing or hunting, you're kind of working your trap line, your bum line. And I kind of work an area. And then I got to this one point where there's a park, but it's not like a city park. It's one of those kind of half-ass parks that's next to like a really crappy river. And, where they got like the mountain bike paved road. So, if you're disabled, you can take your wheelchair on it, kind of on the edge of town. And there's this cool area where you can park. They got a roundabout. And where you park at, the 2 side doors on my van would open up to a gravel downhill. So I just tie the dog up to the side of the van and chillax there. I'd done pretty okay. I mean, in that run of heading north over a week or 2, I'd say I'd say at least 2 weeks, maybe even more, maybe less. I'd say 2 weeks. I'd made around $3,000 to $4,000, $3,000. I'm sure of that, plus gas, plus everything. And I'm sitting there get my drink on, eating way too much pizza. And by the way, I shouldn't eat that much pizza. I shouldn't even eat pizza at all. But I'm sitting there. I've got Buzzer on there on my little TV in the van. And I drank those 2 Four Locos, and the world is beautiful and shimmery, and there's no problems. Now, one thing I had happened to notice was there was a trash can right along that park trail. And when I say trash can, it was more like one of those toter dumpsters so they could easily roll it. This would come in handy later. Because, yeah, man, I'm just kind of chilling, enjoying life, listening to the trains off in the distance. And I finally went to bed. And basically, I woke up like 4 a.m. Hey, buddy, you got to go. You got to go now. I'm like, shit. I'm looking around for like a newspaper or something. But who the fuck has newspaper anymore? For those that don't understand this technique, and by the way, that little short I did earlier, the backwoods bidet, that's not a joke. That really is something you can use out in the woods. I usually use a 2-liter, but the 2-liter I had for some reason had like some sort of cap issue. So I just grabbed an old 211 bottle, drilled the hole in the side, You basically are out in the middle of nowhere. It's the same technique a lot of homeless people use when they're in urban environments. At least they used to use it. I don't know where, when, and why. Some people speculate the reason that the West Coast is so covered in shit, especially California, is because they banned plastic bags. And so, you put a newspaper down, do your business on it, and then use the bag to cover up your arm, and then use it like a dog pot, wrap it all in there. Obviously, use the bag to cover up your hand when you're doing the wiping. Most people aren't evolved enough to use a backwards bidet. I am, and basically then you just throw it in there. Well, I was out of, newspaper. Who has fucking newspaper anymore? So I'm looking around like shit, because I don't want to leave a Shizuli in the grass, because someone's dog will find that or something. That's just nasty. And so I look over and there's an empty pizza box, and I'm like, hello, friend. I scruffle my ass. I'm like, dog, stay in the van, and I scruffle my ass over to the fucking the bushes, past the tall grass, past all that, into the bushes. Or it's still like 4 something in the morning. Nobody could see me. The pre-dawn, because it's like early summer at that point. And yeah, man, that song, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. Well, it wasn't really that dark, but it was definitely a Four Loko pizza homeless shit on that fucking Costco box. Inside of it, like open the hatch. And use the backwoods bidet. Obviously, I had a bag over my hand, and then I, cleaned everything. Everything was fine. By the way, the backwoods bidet, because you're using water, it saves you a fuck ton of toilet paper in the middle of nowhere. In fact, if you do it right and you've got like wash bottles, you literally just have bleach rags and use that instead of toilet paper. So if you're ever off grid, you got your deep ass hole, go full Indian, full Punjabi. And you got your little things of water, the bleach in them. But in this case, I was using regular TP. And I get done, I clean up. I'm like, okay, thank God. And then I go and look at the trash can, the toter. And I'm like, because I had been a garbage man before. And I'm like, oh God, I hope they pick this up sometime recent in the future. Because when the sun starts hitting this trash can, it's going to start cooking that turd in that pizza box. And I'm like, hey, fuck it. I had to shit, and I didn't want to shit in the grass. Because, someone's dog or something, that's just unsightly. You should crap and then put it in a bag and then throw it in a fucking trash can, or preferably a dumpster, because the dumpster is the best. You want to know the worst dumpster, though, to deal with? Shrimp Fest. That is fucking nasty on a way. Like, human shit is really nasty. Shrimp Fest is even nastier. But yeah, I got done with that. And I bummed another couple days in that area. Then I started heading even further north. But as I promised, when I got to 9:30 or 9:25, I got to 9:30 this morning. So I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well tell the crapping in a pizza box story. And it's the moral of the story is that, I don't think there is a good moral to this story. I really don't. I mean, look, man, I adapt to everything. Whether it's making lots of money and living off next to nothing as a van lifer trucker, or as a van lifer bum, or a guy living in the woods, I adapt to everything. Like all these like weird moral codes everybody else has, that's on you. That's not me. So, that's the story. I have no regrets. I feel no shame. I did what I had to do at the time to get things done. And lots of bumming of change, lots of pizza and Four Lokos. Honestly, though, I should give up the Four Lokos. I probably will get another pizza when I'm traveling again. But yeah, Four Loko plus pizza equals eventually a gut that screams. So peace.